بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The four conditions of a miracle. Again, these conditions are not from me. They are from our great ulama, from their great books in Aqidah, such as the one that I quoted previously, and you can find them in the footnote. Number one, the miracle must accompany, or shortly thereafter, the claim of prophethood or messengership. So once a person claims to be a prophet, immediately, right then and there, or shortly thereafter, there must be a miracle must occur. Okay, a miracle must occur right after claiming to be a prophet. So if a person claims to be a prophet today, and 1 year later a miracle happens, that's too late. It has to happen right then and there or shortly thereafter so that there's no doubt in the mind of the people who are eyewitnesses. People are witnessing it. It has to happen at a immediately or shortly thereafter in a reasonable time. Without a claim to prophecy, it's not a miracle. If a person is not claiming to be a prophet and a miracle happens, that's not the mu'jiza. That's not mu'jiza miracle. It's a different type of miracle called karama, or divine assistance for a righteous Muslim. And we will talk about karama. And as I've said before, if you're a righteous Muslim, you're upright, you do your five pillars, you stay away from muharramat, and you do tawbah in case you do slip, as long as you're righteous and upright, you will probably most likely have karamat in your life, or ma'un, sorry, it could be karama or ma'una. So karama is for a wali, a saint, not just for everyday Muslim. Karama is for a wali or saint, which is a very high status spiritual Muslim. Divine assistance or ma'una is for everyday Muslim who's righteous. And we will talk about both of these, inshallah. Karama and divine assistance are coming up in one of the following lessons, inshallah. The miracle must corroborate the claim to prophecy. What does that mean? It means that what if a prophet says, I'm a prophet of God, and look at the moon, I will split it, it will split after I point it to it. Instead of the moon splitting, something else splits, the mountain splits. That's not corroborating. It must conform to the claim. All right. So the third condition is that the miracle should not disprove the claim. Okay. It shouldn't backfire. Okay. That is, it should not backfire. What does that mean? This is really funny, but it's also sad for the one who there was a man called Musaylama, and he's often given the title, or he is given the title Al-Kadhab, the great liar. Musaylama al-Kadhab was a prophet sorry, he was not a prophet. Someone who claimed to be a prophet. Musaylama al-Kadhab was a false prophet. He claimed to be a prophet. He was around during the time of Sahaba, and during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was in Yemen, and he was very, eloquent, very smart, and he started copying, mimicking some of the things the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, and he heard about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his miracles. So he basically found out one day that uh, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spat in the eye of a person, and the eye got healed. Ali radiallahu anhu, Sayyiduna Ali radiallahu anhu, the fourth Khalifa of Islam, was complaining about a sickness in his eye. And the Prophet spat in his eye, and the eye became better. It became better than the other eye. It became the best eye. So that's a miracle, right? Empirically impossible event. So Musaylama, this guy thought he was cool. He also spat in one of the eyes of a person, and guess what happened? It backfired spectacularly, and the other eye also went blind. So everybody was like, "Whoa, this guy's claiming to be a prophet, and instead of the eye getting cured, the other eye also went blind." This disproved spectacularly disproved his claim, and it's oh I already had it. This disproved his claim to prophecy, proved him a liar. That's why he's called al-Kathab, the liar. And of course, it backfired spectacularly. Thereafter, everyone could see he was a false prophet. And there are other events too that happened with Musaylama al-Kadhab. All right, so that was that condition. And the next condition is that it cannot be a miracle during a time such as the time that we are living in. It's a time of robots, it's a time of artificial intelligence, it's a time of incredible power and control that we see computers having over every aspect of our life. When you have frequently unusual events happening, so if we are living in a time when there are frequently occurring unusual events, for example, technology, let me put the AI here, technology, AI, etc., then it's not a miracle. And we know that Dajjal, the false Christ, the great impostor, the the one-eyed creature that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us about, and some people believe that his we are very close to his time. We know that during his time, Dajjal will be given incredibly amazing, miraculous, quote unquote, miraculous powers. These powers will be so great that he will look to the sky and it will rain. He will point to the sky, it will rain, and he will be able to travel all across the world, and he will have information. He will be able to instant information. He can control everything, the whole world except for Mecca and Medina. And he will fly in what the Hadith described, if I remember correctly, as an iron donkey. In other words, an airplane. And there'll be all kinds of miraculous events that will be taking place during the time of Dajjal. And Dajjal will claim to be God or Jesus, if I understand it correctly, and he'll have incredible powers to do miraculous things. So that's not a miracle that proves that Dajjal is a prophet of God, because at that time, as we can start to see now, because of technology and AI and instant communication all over the world, which was unimaginable just 100 years ago, communication around the world like the way we communicate today is unimaginable. It's miraculous, and technology can be very deceiving because it makes people think it's a miracle, and science is they turn people look at science as it's some kind of god or godly powers, and they stop to differentiate between empirical and rational. And so we have to be careful about that. One last thing that I have personally observed, and I'm sure maybe our ulama have mentioned it in their Aqidah books, is that it seems to me that every miracle performed by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was actually repeated twice or more. So the healing of the eye, it happened twice. When the Prophet spat in a well that was drying up, the well became full of water. Splitting of the moon may have happened twice. Um, if I have understood it correctly, my reading of the seerah and the miracles is that miracle is not something that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did once; it repeated twice, which is even more miraculous and further confirms, so that people don't think, oh, this was just an illusion, this was just a vision, maybe I was dreaming something, maybe I was seeing things, maybe it didn't happen, it was just a coincidence. Repetition helped further remove doubts in the mind of the eyewitnesses. Okay, so these are the four conditions of every miracle that must be present. One of these is missing, it's not a miracle. Don't be fooled. There's a lot of false prophets that have come after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and many false prophets have deluded and deceived many ignorant followers in many parts of the Muslim world. So apply this technical definition, apply these four conditions, and you will know if somebody's fooling or deceiving people. You will be able to expose them. And inshallah, in the next lesson, we will look at pre-prophecy miracles and miracles of awliya, and other things that we have talked about, that we briefly mentioned but never got the chance to talk about. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.